Hi, everybody. It's Helen from the Squiggly Careers podcast. I hope you're well. I want to give you a quick summary of this week's Squiggly Careers podcast episode, which is all about how to create career karma. It's actually a concept that someone sort of named for us. We were delivering a Squiggly session several years ago, and we were talking about how we talk about building communities around your career that you give to and you gain back from. And somebody described some of the principles that were explaining as being a bit like career karma. That somebody was a lady called Lisa. I need to give her credit because it was exactly like creating career karma, and we wanted to turn it into a practical podcast to help other people to do it too. So quick summary of what we cover so that you can go and listen if you think it's going to be useful for you in your development. First of all, we start with this idea of people helping people. It's how in Amazing If we define the networks that we build around your career, the communities that you develop. And what is really important about this principle of people helping people is that you start with what you have got to give. So people often feel awkward about building networks around their career because they feel like it's take. But when you start with what you've got to give, not only does that feel better because it psychologically creates what's called a helper's high, which makes us feel really good that we are giving to other people, it also means that you get more back over the long run. Would really recommend looking into Adam Grant's work around this if you want a bit more of the research behind the principle. Believe me, it's true. But if you want some research to really dig into, then Adam Grant's book Give and Take is a really good point. But effectively what we create here is reciprocity in our relationships, and you get that by giving first to people. Another way that I think about it is, maybe, I don't know, this is what works with my brain, we'll see if it resonates with you, is that I think about help as almost being like a currency in our squiggly careers. And what we're trying to do when we help different people is you're almost putting a credit in the career bank. And what happens over time is you help those people, you put that credit in the bank, and it sort of accrues interest. People sometimes forget how you've helped them, but what they think about you is that you are a helpful person. And that means when you go and ask for an introduction or you ask for their advice, they're much more likely to help you because of it. And you don't want to do this as a transactional thing, like if I help you, will you help me? It's not that. It's kind of giving without keeping score. That's the principle we're trying to get to. But if you believe in career karma, you ultimately know that you're going to get loads more back from people, because that's what the research proves. Givers get more. And even if you give to people and they don't give back, you still feel good about it. So this is what we unpack a lot on the episode, and we share loads of ideas for action so that you can create this career karma by taking a giving first mentality. Just one super quick insight into one of the ideas for action. We talk about these 3 E's. So when you're thinking about how you can be helpful, 3 different ways. You could be helpful by sharing your experience. We all have different experiences. I've experiences of launching a podcast, for example, or turning a side project into a scaling business. That's stuff that I could help somebody with who would benefit from that experience. Expertise. So what do you have subject matter expertise in? It could be a system that you know really well that could be really useful for somebody who's just joined the business. And it could be that you've got expertise in a particular area of the business, for example. That could be helpful for someone who's new, or somebody who's maybe done a sideways move in the organization, what we call a squiggle and stay opportunity, or even just energy. You can be helpful by giving people your energy, which could literally be time. Like, I really believe in what you're trying to do. I've got a few hours to spare. How can I help? Or it could be passion. Like, I love what you're trying to do. I want to get involved. How can I support it? How can I advocate for it? So we've got loads of ideas for action for you. This is just a very quick insight into one of them, but all practical ways you can create career karma. And after you've listened, if you want to learn a bit more, you can download the pod sheet that always summarizes the ideas for action. And if you want to make sure that you don't miss out on future episodes, all the resources that we create, sign up for Pod Mail. It comes out every Tuesday and it makes it really easy. It's got all the links in there for you, and you can forward it on to people in your teams if that would be helpful. We will put the link to Pod Mail in the comments of this post so that you can get to it really easily. But I hope that has been helpful. I hope you give it a listen. I hope you start creating some career karma for lots of people if you aren't already doing it brilliantly already.